Thanks for having me on this week's TNL. I was asked to share with you guys for about 15 minutes about what to do when you're not having success. And I'm going to go specifically in the field, okay? Because I know there's a lot of things that can go into your mind, and a lot of it is just perspective. And that's what these trainings and the association at Family First Life will give you is, man, I ain't the only one dealing with that. And is it that bad? Frank Euphemia has a shirt that says, "But did you die?" And it's funny, but at the same time, you got to go like, was it really that bad? Like they no showed me. Am I really not having success, or is the level of success determined by the way I see things? Do I see it half full? Do I see it half empty? Now, without work, it's hard to be successful. So the first thing I'd say when you're not having success, you got to look at your schedule and go, am I really putting in full-time work? Am I dialing all day? Or am I taking all day to dial? Am I starting at 7:30 in the morning, or do I start at 9 or 10? When I'm calling the leads, do I expect for them to pick up? Or do I go, these leads don't pick up. They never gonna pick up. See, our mind is so powerful. Like, more than you can ever imagine with the things that we put in it and what comes out. Because what goes in is exactly what will come out over time. So you really want to put yourself in environments to where you're around positive people. When I wasn't having success in the field, what I saw a lot is that I was talking to people who weren't having success in the field. I wasn't talking to people who were killing it. I'd be like, they're doing that. And let me talk to Tim over here so we can complain about the internet leads, or we can complain about, these things suck, and then you start believing it. So force yourself to get uncomfortable and get around successful people. Now you're like, well, what if they're not around me, or that's not all the time, or I go to the office Monday and Thursday and that's just not enough? I'm with you. That's why we have these trainings. So if you're on here now, you're already doing something to ensure that you're successful. Now, without work means nothing. Okay? But if you're here, you're in the right place. Now, my question to you is, are you on every week? Every Friday, 8 a.m. on the West Coast, 11 Eastern. Are you on the Inside the Cell? Are you on the True Talk? Are you on the Q&A Saturday mornings with Sean? And if the answer is sometimes, well, then we shouldn't be confused on why we're not having success. And I think a lot of times we think we should be successful based on past experiences in business, life, whatever the case may be that you were winning at. And what I like to say is that that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. I was I say really good. I was decent at baseball. There was guys who were really good. I was on the team. But when I got here, I had to realize that, dude, that didn't matter at all. The confidence I had on the baseball field, I had to earn and learn that confidence here in this business. And I think a lot of the times when we're not having success, it's not long-term success. It's just not happening fast enough. And when we look at that, the speed in which that you will acquire skill, it's all determined not by time, but or not by elapsed time, but working time. So there may be somebody who comes in, their first 30 days, they help 15, 20 plus families. And there may be somebody who comes in and they help 2. They were both there 30 days. But one worked those 24 hours over those 30 days every day like a madman. And one said, this, I think I'm going to kind of do that, but I think I'm kind of do that. But we all want the same level of success as people who are truly, truly working. I remember Zach Twardowski said that he went up to Mark Mead early on and asked him, hey, man, why don't I'm not writing as much business as you guys. I'm not helping as many families. And Mark goes, and he laughs. Mark's laugh. He laughs at him. How do you expect to have my result and you've been here for 60 days, 90 days? I've been here for 6 years. See, there's something, a rookie in Major League Baseball earns their keep. They maybe have some talent. Sure, they do. But at practice, they're working harder than the veteran. Sometimes not, but most of the time, yes. And I think that's the way you got to look at this business is don't speed up or your expectations. Just speed up your work. And if you speed up your work, your expectations will continue to rise and you will hit goals and milestones faster than ever. But if it's always, I did this, I heard this on a training, I did it, it didn't work. Now I'm going to change it. Well, when my coach told me to, put my hands up and, I had the bat like way down here. He was like, dude, put your hands up here. That was uncomfortable. And I didn't hit it the first time, but I kept doing it. And I kept doing it. And next thing you know, I started hitting the ball. You have that, and that's just an example of getting comfortable, being uncomfortable. So when you're not having success, what I've seen for my personally and seen by managing and working with agents is that there's too many changes and not enough work. There's too many external things. It's a lead. It's the website. It's this or that. I'm like, dude, all these things, they're always going to change. And if you can't change with change, this business is going to be really tough. But one thing I've seen over the past 10, 11 years is that the changes that are made specifically here at Family First Life are always to put the agent first, are always to get the agent ahead. And that's what I love about this business. So when you look at your level of success, what you're having or not having, you got to look around you and go, are other people doing it? Yeah. Not comparing myself to them, but if they can do it, I can do it. They put their pants on one leg at a time, just like us. There's nothing that anybody can go out there and do in this space, that if you work hard, you believe in yourself, you can't do. Now I want to go to positivity because the trainings and things they're going to give you the nuts and bolts, but the reality is when you get around folks, you're going to get pounded with positivity. You're going to hear things. You're going to hear somebody get hung up on, and they're going to go, "Man, good thing I got that one out of the way." And you're going to be like, "Oh, all right," because we think getting hung up on we're not succeeding, right? But they go, thank God I got that one out of the way. I'm moving on to the next one. It's all about how we see it. And the more you get in those environments, the better chance the odds are, unless you're just innately just crazy positive and all. But that wasn't me. I had to force myself. I had to get around it. So I think that, okay, are very, very important things to do when you're not having success. But also, I believe that double down on the things that you're afraid of. And I'm going to go with leads, okay? When you're not having success, we tend to go easier on leads. We tend to go, I'm going to work those leads from last week. I still got some that didn't pick up. I'm going to go door knock, because we don't believe that we can go out there and do it. So we go, you know what? Let me take some chips off the table. And then if I don't do it, I don't lose as bad. Now, I tell you this, when you're not succeeding, the play isn't to play not to lose. The play is to play to win. And that's one big thing that I've learned from Sean Mike and a lot of other managers, mentors that I've seen in and outside of this business, is that they play to win. And when things get tough, they go harder. Because lead flow equals families helped. Lead flow equals a lot of opportunities to not be good and still help some people. Because a lot of, when you don't have success, it's not necessarily the amount of families helped or not helped. It's more of the activity that wasn't put in, okay? Because if I ran, 40, I set 40 appointments, booked 40, and I sat down with 20. and I helped 10. Okay. And you go, wow, man, that's a 50% show ratio, 50% close ratio. That's not very good. But I'm like, that's still 10 families helped. I don't know. With high volume, I can stay positive. Okay. Now, if it was 15 set with 6 or 7, and then helped 2 or 3, which is really hard with that many appointments because I'm under pressure. So then I go, man, I had 7 no-shows, 8 no-shows. And then this person didn't have a bank account. And then this happened. And then I wrote this one and then they canceled it on the way home. Yeah, it's the same numbers. But when you have low activity, it's a lot easier to get emotional and see failure or not succeeding. But when you have activity, those things don't matter. You know, it's like, I love it. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they went out, they had, 4 appointments in a day, and helped 3 families. Okay. And then I said, all right, you got lucky, right? And they go, what do you mean? I was like, the odds of that happening all the time are not very likely. Not very likely at all. But I just wanted to give you a heads up. That's why we want to have 8, 9, 10 appointments every time. And I wasn't trying to rain on their parade, but just keeping it real. They were very excited about it. I'm all good with that. But know that you can't predict that. Now, they went out the next time, the next run day, and had 3 appointments. Or no, another 4, actually. Another 4 appointments. All of them no-showed. And he goes, I got a no-show problem. Well, the first time he had 4, helped 3, and 2 were in one home. So really he only had 2 more no-shows than the previous day. But the first day, it wasn't a no-show problem. It was I helped 3 families. But the second time, it's I got a no-show problem. And I think it's all perspective. We can't get emotional about the result if we're not emotional about the activity. If we don't have the activity, we can't. And I've heard that many times. If we were just as emotional about our lack of activity as we were about the results, we never get there. So I think those are some major points to look at when you aren't having success, and talk to people who are having success, and they'll talk to you and be like, hey, you know what? You're actually doing pretty good, dude. You sit with about 70%, you close about 60%. Let's just crank it up a little bit. And that's that association. That's that positivity. That's that perspective that we all need. And if we can do those things, there's no shot that you stay in the dumps. There's no shot that doesn't mean that you won't have negative thoughts. They'll just go in and seep right out. It doesn't mean that you're always going to be helping families and, just living, but you're going to know that one thing leads to a next, and this is just a part of the process. And it ain't failure. It's moving forward. Fail forward. If you stay stagnant and don't do anything, I think that's the true definition of failure and quitting, But success, man, we all have different levels of success. But positivity, hey, I saw this thing a couple weeks ago, and it said, I'm sure, I said, I don't know. Somebody said, how do you know positivity works? I said, well, I really don't know positivity works, but I'm 100% sure being negative works. 1,000% sure. And nobody can argue that. Nobody goes, man, I know some real successful negative people. I know some negative people with some really good relationships. They're just so awesome. So if we know negativity doesn't work, why not just step on the side of positivity? Thanks for having me. Have a great day. Later.